You are now tuned in to the motherfucking Ambition Hour podcast on Worth the Wait Radio. You ready?
It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby.
Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, Claudia Renee, on your airwaves, and this is episode 131. Bam, 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 bam. Listen, we got a whole new set. This shit crazy in here. I feel real official. Got a new backdrop. Listen, should have never gave a broke bitch money. Should have never gave a broke bitch money, and I'm so grateful. Welcome everybody to yet again another episode of the Ambition Hour podcast. I am your host, Claudia Renee. I have Hive 600 in the building.
Yo.
Clap it up for my audio visual, my executive producer, my manager, my hype man, all the above, gang gang.
What's up?
And
You ready, snuff?
This is WTW TV, WTW Radio, wherever it is that you're catching us. Hey, if you're seeing us on YouTube, hey, you can see the sleigh. And if you can't see the sleigh on YouTube and you're listening to us on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever it is that you are following us, you can also check us out on our social media sites, which is Ambition Hour on Instagram and Twitter. And you can catch me on Instagram, Claudia Renee. That is Renee with 2 E's and then 2 underscores right after. I am so excited to be here. But what else is new? I'm always excited to be here because I love doing this. And each and every single week, we start the episode with stating what we are grateful for. And this week, I am grateful for the beach. I finally got to go to the beach. It has been since I went on the cruise that I hadn't gone to the beach. And there's just such a refreshing feeling when you touch ocean water. Like, put your feet in the sand type of thing. Like, I'm going to take you guys there. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to South Beach, but that's one of my favorite beaches to go to. It's very nostalgic for me, and it's just it's like you know what to expect. You know what's gonna happen. You know how much parking is. You know where you're gonna park. It's so much easier, right? So the anticipation of when you pass a certain part, when you know you're getting closer to the beach, and it's close to the Miami Marlins stadium, right? So I get to see like these views. These are like my favorite views that I'm sharing with you guys. So, and then you start seeing like the buildings and downtown and Brickell, and it's just so beautiful. And then you get more, and then you're getting closer and closer and closer to the beach, and then you have to walk. You have to walk a little bit before you actually get to the sand, especially with the pandemic. The rules and stuff at the beach are very different. When we got there, there was like no cars were on Ocean Drive. Now that's only happened when it's like a holiday. Like I've seen it mainly for like Memorial Day weekend, or sometimes they close it for like some food festivals or whatnot. So yeah, it looked like Twilight Zone. It was pretty crazy. But get there, right? You touch the sand, you gotta walk, find your spot. You find your spot, and normally like you wait a little bit before you touch the water, but I couldn't help myself. I just immediately like was gravitated towards the water, and it was so clear. You can literally see like straight through the water into the sand, and it was so beautiful. And I just felt like it just washed away, you know, all of the fear and all of the stuff that I had been like holding on to during this pandemic and these past couple of months, and even all the way leading to the going to the beach, even after the fact, because of course we are in a pandemic, so one thinks, what the fuck. I went to the beach, and you start feeling a little, and sometimes it's just the aftermath of going to the beach. Sometimes when you're in the sun for 5 hours, it does something to you guys. It does something good, but it also can do, you know, there's after effects to that. There's like, you know, the fatigue, there's the, you know, not wanting to really be outside because you possibly, you know, your skin just shouldn't take it anymore, right? So yeah, that's what I'm very grateful for this week. You ask me, what about you, Hav? What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for life in general, in all aspects, and just being able to grow each and every day.
Amen. Sir, amen. I wanted to go ahead and start off with the versus battle that we got coming up because that one's really exciting. Especially because it's by an artist that I've been dying to see in a versus battle because he's one of my favorite rappers. Rick Ross, guys.
Rosé?
305 Dade County, bitch.
M-I-A-O.
Yes, Port of Miami. Listen, my dog got C-sides that can beat anybody out here in these streets. So I don't know what motherfuckers is talking about.
Talk that shit,
Big
Claudia.
at 2 Chainz.
Ooh,
Listen, I love
talk
2
that shit,
Chainz.
Claudia. Talk that shit.
Listen, I love 2 Chainz. Pretty girls like trap music. That's my shit, right? But listen, Santorini Grease.
You think you gonna get to that one?
I don't know. He should though.
Oh, that's the thing about Ross. Is he even gonna get to that?
The thing, yeah, because he has
got
so
so
many
much.
songs that he can get away with not playing that song and still win by a lot.
I'm gonna need that in the OT or like the little after special they be doing.
Yeah, I know. DJ Sam Sneak is gonna be working with him, so
shit. Shout out
it's
to
gonna
Sneak.
it's gonna be he's a Gemini, gang. So it's gonna be a really dope experience. I'm really excited. We're gonna get to see it here at the studio, guys. The studio. We're gonna have to do like a little behind the scenes for you guys because it looks so freaking dope in here, and
Might have to get the hookah in here.
yeah. Listen, and I don't even do hookah like that.
Stop lying on me, girl. No, kidding. I don't.
So yes,
Trees only.
It's gonna be a dope vibe that night. It's gonna be a celebration because that's what this versus battle is like. It's a celebration. It's let's play our songs and celebrate one another. And I know that Rick Ross and 2 Chainz both are going to know each other's songs, so it's gonna be a even a better celebration because when you see that, it's like I see you, king, you see me, king, and it works. And so I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be very luxurious because they're luxurious
Very
rappers,
expensive.
Very expensive. It's gonna smell really good. It's gonna
Very
smell like
great.
expensive cologne and weed.
A lot of labels that you cannot pronounce.
Exactly how.
Smoking some of the finest weed man could find.
Like, I would love to be in that room. That would
Facts,
be
yeah.
that would be a dope. That would be a dope thing. You know what I think would be dope?
Yo, and shout out to Chainz. We biased. We Miami.
Listen, I'm super biased because
And
number
I
one
love
is
2
Rick Ross,
Chainz.
Dade County, baby, like all day long. You know what I mean? But I like listen. I don't know because even if I wasn't from Dade County, I think it's
Yeah,
still
because the Bay fuck with the boss too.
with the boss too. That's a fact. That is a fact. Cause he's so he's taught us wealth, like Nip said it. So yeah, R.I.P. to Nip.
It's a bar. Like Nip said, oh.
Yeah, he taught us wealth, man. So I'm really excited for that battle. Hopefully all of you guys enjoy it. On my Instagram, I did a poll and Rick Ross won, so I ain't even worried. I first of all, I ain't even worried because if I'm not biased, my followers definitely are because they're all from Dade County. So shout out to everybody who follows me. And so I'm really excited for the battle. Something that just came to my mind right now, like at this moment. Coming in from Claudia's mind. I just thought that it would be really cool if like the people who did the versus battles, if they were to do like maybe like a one-time performance of it, like a live performance or like a tour or something like that, because I think that would be really dope because a lot of the catalogs that have been put against one another have been really good and have bounced off one another very well. So I feel like it would make sense to do something like that, I feel. But that's definitely like in like 2021, 2022 or something like that because like the way things are right now, I don't know about that happening, but we shall see. Again, congratulations to the Versus. We watching it on Apple because that thing is bossy on there. Do you think 2 Chainz is gonna play any of the songs that he had with Krayshawn?
That would be hard if you did.
That song.
I don't think we're gonna get to that.
You don't think we're gonna get that one? That's a good song though. That's the
great
thing.
song.
Like listen.
Shout out to Krayshawn.
Yeah, like y'all saw what I just put, like what I just said about 2 Chainz. Like I love 2 Chainz. I've been listening to 2 Chainz since for a minute. So
Yeah. True University. Claudia had that in the Honda. Claudia talked that shit, Claudia.
Yeah, I did. I had it in the Honda Accord. That was my car, man. Pegasus. I miss her. Him.
R.I.P.
And
To a real one.
so yeah. So it's gonna be a great battle. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm calling it 12. 12. I have it like
I just have Ross winning. Ross is winning. Ding 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 ding. That's it.
Rose.
That's it.
Should have put their ad-libs on the soundboard for this episode.
That's it. Okay, guys. So a lot of new things have dropped this past week. One of the things that dropped, Brandy dropped a new project. And
I love that cover art that they had for it.
Yeah, me too. Also, Kehlani dropped a new video. The Emmys also dropped the nominations, which was pretty dope. We're probably gonna get into that a little later. If I remember.
A lot of Emmys.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
And we got a lot of shit to discuss, so we get to it.
Exactly. The main thing that I wanted to discuss this episode was Black is King.
The queen has dropped.
Beyonce dropped Black is King, and I, as a Beyhive member, couldn't contain my excitement today. I actually watched it 2 times already. Like let me not lie, because I haven't finished watching it the second time, but I did start from the beginning. Something that I did notice was that it had made me appreciate the soundtrack of The Lion King, like the soundtrack of The Lion King that she did on her own. Like, it made me appreciate it a lot more because the visuals were just so beautiful, and the outfits that everyone was wearing, and the dancing, and her daughter being there, and then Naomi Campbell's in it. Jessie Reyes is in it, because she's in one of the songs from the soundtrack, as well as Pharrell, Wizkid, Burna Boy, just like a lot of different artists that are, featured in the project. One of the ones that I was a little disappointed that didn't show up was Kendrick, because he's in one of the songs in the soundtrack. I was kind of hoping that he would be there. Also, St. John, 2 of the people that I was hoping would be in the video because they were part of the project. Blue Ivy, of course, was in the video, living her best life, being the, daughter of Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Of the throne.
Yeah, so it was really dope to see that. And also, Beyonce dedicated it to her son, Sir Carter. So that was really beautiful because Black is King and the whole thing, without spoiling it, it's, to me, the best way to describe it is, Disney has shown us that the Lion King is a lion, right? But when in reality the king is, a man, and it's a black man. And because that's the Lion King is based in Africa, so it's a black person that is behind these voices. So basically what I felt was that she just brought that into person, and then like there's a character, like each person has a character, and it's just so beautiful. And you look at like the culture, and you look at the sounds and the dances and the way that they wear their hair. And, it's about wealth and generational wealth and breaking generational curses and learning about your ancestors and, being who your ancestors like have you destined to be. And it's just great. It brings life more, and it gives life to the Lion King, I feel. So it's a really great movie. It was really nice seeing the whole Disney castle. Like when it first introduces a Disney movie.
Oh, yeah.
And to know, because Beyonce is a director. She's an executive producer. She's one of the musical composers. She has a lot of credits in this movie. So for me, as a Beyonce fan, and also just a person who is in love with music and things music and Disney, to see both of those things collide and see the Disney castle, and then know that I'm about to watch a Beyonce film. It was really, how can I say this? I felt like it was a full circle moment because I remember, seeing her on The Proud Family or even like on Smart Guy or, just also knowing that, that she loves Disney. Like, who doesn't love Disney, guys? Come on. So yeah, so it just made me very proud of her and all that she has done, and her being a mother, her being a wife and a daughter and a sister and just an aunt and cousin and best friend. And Kelly Rowland was in the video, and she like told her, like, cuz in Brown Skin Girl, she like there's parts where she's like, you're so beautiful and things like that. And it was just a great movie, so I highly, highly recommend it. I'm trying to see because there's other things that maybe because I stay trying to tell Hav about it, and he's just like, just tell me on the podcast.
I didn't know all that. But Coley Hailey are not in it?
Chloe and Halle are not in it. No, they're not.
What a disappointment.
No, they're not.
Halfway. Take a few steps back. Just how?
They're not in it, but the same person who they're like their stylist, Chloe and Halle's stylist is the one who was in charge of styling all the outfits in the movie.
Oh man, let's give it up to everybody that had a participation. Disney, Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Oh man, the way that they transition him being in the movie, I almost busted my dumb ass.
They got you. You're like, oh my.
Yeah, no,
you
like
that meme, the Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, no. That shit was really cool. How they did that transition of basically like, yeah. Nah, it's dope. I don't want to spoil it because you guys gotta watch it. But just pay attention to that. Like, he's in the movie, but you don't know when he's gonna show up. So when you do, remember me. I wanted to give proper props to Miss Zarina Akers, who is the costume designer, wardrobe curator. She's the one who does the outfits for, like I said, Chloe and Halle, also Beyonce. And Chloe and Halle's outfits have been insane lately.
Those music videos have been great too.
They just performed at the GLAAD Awards, and their performance was so beautiful. They had 3 other women in there, and there were trans women, so it was beautiful to see them there and just killing it and doing the whole routine for the do it. I'm trying to learn that shit, like the.
How is it going?
No, they do that. That shit goes hard. I love that freaking project. I listen to it every day, like multiple times. Ask Javier.
All written, produced by those girls too.
Yes,
probably just that Mike Will made it beat, and that's it.
Yes, these girls are like, listen.
For the most part,
they're the now and they're the future. So there you have it.
Heard it first.
I wanted to share that I did watch, because the City Girls and Sweetie both dropped a new vlog, like their series. And I just want to say, number one, Quavo loves the fuck out of Sweetie. And I know that that's a given, like, right? Like, that's his girlfriend. Of course he's going to love her. But it was just so funny to me because she had, like, a pajama party with, like, her best friends. And he was just there. I don't know if he was the only guy, but he was just there while it was just a whole bunch of girls dancing, shaking ass, having the time of their life, and he's just there being a supportive boyfriend, throwing money too because they were throwing money, recording and just doing like cute shit. And he also got her, like, I'm not saying that these are like gifts. Yeah, gifts are not like expensive gifts are not, a necessity, but of course when you have it, it comes with it. Like, you're not just gonna get like regular shit when people know that you have certain money, especially when you know what your lady likes, because that's what she buys herself. You know what I mean? Sweetie already has that kind of like lifestyle where she's affording these expensive things. So of course, her man's gonna get her expensive things, and he knows exactly what to get her. So like, he gets her the earrings, he gets her 2 Birkin bags, and she don't know how to act. Like, and it was so cute because she wore one of the Birkin bags like the entire day. Like, normally as a woman myself, when I have a purse, when I get somewhere, I usually try to find a place where I can leave it, or Yeah, I'm trying to find it somewhere that I could leave it or
Not
I
the
don't take
Berkey.
one. Yeah, and then no, she was holding on to that baby the whole entire day. It was like it was so cute, but yeah, just the way that he loves her and how he loves her family and how he's there and then even how she is with him and how she's just so she's so transparent. She's so herself. She's so like, yeah, I'm a, shake my ass and chug a bottle of, Hennessy, and that's me, and like fuck who don't like it, and I love that. I love that there is more things like that. Like I love it. We were talking about this last week on how these things are like diary. These girls are getting very personal. They're taking us into their lives, and I just think it's beautiful. So I also watched the new episode of The City Girls, and that shit was awesome. It's kind of like when them finally going back to the studio after JT coming home, and then Young Money already having the baby. So you kind of get to see the that part.
Young Miami.
What I say? Young
Money.
MA?
I think you said Young Money.
I said Young Money. Well, Young Miami. I'm sorry, baby girl. I was gonna say her government name. I was gonna say Carisha, because that's what I always see JT calling her. So I was just gonna say Carisha, but then I'm like, that's not what we call her. Her name is Young Miami. And then, anywho, but yeah, so it's just really dope to see like that transition of JT coming home to Miami for the first time since having been in jail, etc., etc., and it was just really really dope. So shout out to those ladies. Okay, so those were the things that I want to talk about because I feel like these past couple of weeks women have just been doing great things, and specifically I feel like Black women have been doing great things, and I love that the Emmys is finally doing that. Like they are acknowledging these Black women. For me, I feel like Insecure was needed when Emmy. It's crazy how it's the first time that they are being nominated for an Emmy, and it's been I'm getting trapped. I'm getting trapped. Okay, so Insecure is nominated for 8 Emmys, right? And so I'm just very excited about that because it's just like, yes, ladies, okay, fine, 8, finally 8 Emmys. Like this is her 4th season. They're getting nominated. Issa Rae got nominated. Like this girl went from a YouTube star, like a YouTuber, to she has a show on HBO, and now she's nominated for 8 Emmys. And I know that sometimes people don't really care for like award shows and things like that, but at the end of the day, these things mean something. We always say that on here, they mean something, and there's no escaping that. So you just have to congratulate. I don't want to say all of the ones. I just know that it's 8 of them. I also wanted to point out that Maya Rudolph was nominated 2 times in the same category, and
Gotta give it up. Damn, on the same category.
Yeah, the same category. Possibly, yeah. And she's a Black woman, so shout out to her for that because, man, imagine getting nominated 2 times for the same award. Let me see if I can get these Emmys. Oh Lord, guys, y'all understand? Sometimes Google be tripping. You know how they be telling you to Google shit, and then you're like, I can't find it.
What you trying to look for?
Nah, I found it. I was talking shit. Okay, so best comedy, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Insecure got nominated. The Mandalorian got nominated for best drama. Best limited series. I'm just looking at the categories that I like.
And they got the shows that we watch.
Yeah. Best actress. Zendaya got nominated for in Euphoria. Yeah. That's my homie right there. I love her. There was in the best actress in limited series or TV movie is Regina King, Watchmen, Octavia Spencer, Self-Made, Kerry Washington, Little Fires Everywhere. Shira Haas, Unorthodox, Kate Blanket, Mrs. America. I read the Black woman's name first because that's what I thought was like really cool that there were 3 women there because sometimes it doesn't always happen. Hopefully one of them take it. Best actor. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch this. If we're being honest, just because the Emmys has never been something that I've always watched, and it's something that I guess that I just
Tell
like.
me who won.
Yeah, just like tell me who won. Did my show win? Because that's what I want to know. I want to know if my show won. Of course, Tracy Ellis Ross was nominated for a whole bunch of other things as well, because she is hot like that. You know, I love Tracy Ellis Ross, like the way that she is.
I do too.
She is like so bomb. She is, I feel, the example of the woman who decided that no, I'm not going to let kids or a man define my happiness. And just because I don't have those things, that doesn't mean that I'm happy. And yeah, like I love that I have a woman in Hollywood to see that in. Because sometimes you always see all of these women in Hollywood.
We're institutionalized.
Yeah, we're institutionalized to believe like you have to get married, you have to have kids if you want to be happy. And she's just been such a great advocate when it comes to that.
Let me throw this at you. What if in the movies there were relationships where there was more than one partner? How do you think we would think of cheating or being with multiple partners, i.e., the Will Smith situation,
entanglement,
or anybody getting cheated on or anything like that? What do you think about that? What if Snow White, there was 2 girls that this guy ended up with, right? Or he cheated, was with another girl, and Snow White was still down.
That's interesting. I think we would view love very differently. I think we would view it, or maybe be okay with the infidelity, or, I feel like people are they frown upon, the whole. It's not an entanglement because there's people who are in these relationships, like they're in polyamorous relationships, and that's okay. The only thing is that we haven't been, like how Hav says, we haven't been taught that it is okay. For me, I say this all the time, guys. I'm gonna mind my business, because you can love who you want to love. You can fuck who you want to fuck. You can be who you want to be. You can actually be what you want to be at the end of the day. So that's just how I am. But I know that society has just taught us, to not be that way as man or woman. And then even having to break that down. So yeah, to answer your question, Hav, I think if, movies were to show us that it's not bad like how they do, because usually when there's a side piece, it's not good in a movie. It doesn't go very well for whoever for whoever has the piece, the real piece.
I don't know, man. If a girl's cheating on me, I'm gonna have to leave her, bro. I gotta be out. I can't deal with none of that cheating shit.
So even if it was like what if you never found out about the cheating?
It'll be fine with me if I don't find out. I will.
It kind of sucks because you don't know. You don't know about it, so then you will never find out. So you'll never know how you'll react.
I'm also in the belief that maybe one box shouldn't be the box of life,
I mean, well, because that goes in
line with
the body count.
Ooh. The body count. Are you a shooter? Or you know a shooter?
I know a shooter.
Are you an affiliate shooter?
Yeah, I'm an affiliate with the shooter.
I'm dead.
I'm gonna share this because we fell into it very naturally. So I recently found out that my lesbian best friend has had more partners than I.
Male partners.
And a part of me was like, "You go, girl." Yes, that means you knew that you did not want that for the rest of your life, because I don't know.
You were sure of it.
You were sure of it.
You confirmed.
You confirmed it. And then it made me look at myself like, damn, bitch, you ain't getting no dick. You ain't getting no type of penis right now. Then in the future, it's,
I am having a very bad day. My brother Bomani.
You know what?
That was a good time for that.
You know what? Hav is right with it, with what he's using, because honestly, not a day goes by that I don't think about being in a relationship because of the consistent sex. So that sex that you have with your partner, like your man, the person that you've been with for months, for a couple of months, that you know their body, you know their thing.
Oh, you know their body. Talk about it. Oh, she said she ain't a shooter, but she know that body.
I'm just saying, like, you just know that body, so then you end up just being able to. It's just different when it's like from a consistent person, and that's something that I definitely have been thinking about this quarantine, is like just that. That's not like what I need in a relationship, but that's just something that, you know, sometimes you think about and you're kind of like, man, it's something that I miss. Or another thing that I remember telling Hav that I miss was like going in the water together. Like, you know how I said that earlier about water, and, you know, but like going to the beach, and then just like both, like, because, you know, when you're in a relationship, you get a little cozy in the beach, or when you're in the pool, you know, you want to hug, a little kiss, a little, you know, because you're wet. Smooches. Yeah, the little water smooches, and then how those just taste. And I don't know, man, it's cute being in a relationship and shit.
But fuck that shit.
Yeah, but it's also stressful as fuck.
I'm straight.
And it's just, yeah, but
ain't nobody got time for that.
Exactly.
Relationship.
I don't even gotta talk anymore. But yeah, so speaking on relationships and stuff, and something also that comes with gender roles, because we were talking about that earlier, and you know how there are some certain gender roles. And so a show that I've been watching and actually rewatching is Desperate Housewives. And in Desperate Housewives, it's a really interesting show. I've mentioned it. I've talked about it on here before. Yeah, I've talked about it on here before, and I've mentioned how, you know, these women, like, they go through things, and like there's drama, and you wouldn't think that, you know, this would be happening in the suburbs, and, you know, because they have money and this and that, and but man, the writing in that show is just so good. We found out that they've won 2 Emmys. So gang.
2 chains.
One was for the director, and one was with one of the actresses from the show.
Oh, which one? Is it my bae?
No, it's not. Your bae is Terry Hatcher. Oh, which her name in the show is Susan.
She can still get it.
Yeah, and Susan is funny because she got married to a guy, divorced him, and then married him again. So, you know, things like that are happening. And one of the
like me that type of
yeah, and the reason why they had gotten separated was because they had gotten into a really bad accident that the people in the other car passed away. So their marriage had to take that type of pain and type of like turmoil and trauma, and they didn't know how to deal with it. So they would try to go to therapists. And something that I was telling Hav that I love about the show is that each of these different women, it's they rotate between like the 5th one, but there's 4 official Desperate Housewives. We have Eva Longoria, Terry Hatcher, Felicity Huffman. Hold on, because I know Eva Longoria, of course, and Terry Hatcher. Hold on, Felicity Huffman, and then one more.
All these women are psychos, by the way.
Psychos. Why do you say that, Huff? I'll be catching little episodes here and there. Felicity Huffman is actually the one who every time I see her on the show, it reminds me that she was one of the people who was doing like paying the schools for her daughter to go to the school. And she's also married to the actor from Shameless who plays Frank.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
They're perfect together, and they're looking at it now.
Exactly. Dang,
Crazy
I would have to
asses.
pull up their wiki page.
The little wiki.
Yeah, but so something that I was telling Hav was that I pretty much love how every single of these women, they've gone through different instances in their lives, and they end up going to therapy. And I know that that's something that It's only shown for the wealthy. You need money to go to therapy, and you do need money to go to therapy. But it just shows that, like, these people that have the money to go to therapy, they acknowledge the fact that they need to do that. And I think that nobody should be prideful enough to say, like, hey, I you know what I mean? Like, no matter what it is that you're going through, like, I feel like there is always like an escape form for you to be able to actually get through whatever it is that you're going through as far as your trauma and stuff. And I'm saying this to you guys, but I'm talking to myself because I too have been a person who has been wanting to go to therapy and continue to preach that therapy is good, but have yet to have gone to therapy. And it's because sometimes you get scared of those things that those skeletons in the closet that you may not want to just let out.
Speaking of that, of therapy and couples therapy and Desperate Housewives, at least a little bit I know of it. A lot of shit happens in those relationships. Even that way you just mentioned about the husband and wife, but even Gloria's relationship of all that trauma and what they go through. What do you think that has an effect on a relationship?
Well, to get into the relationship of
Or is couple therapy good? Should that be a thing?
Okay, so the actor is Carlos and Gabrielle Solis, which is Eva Longoria and then her counterpart in the show, and they've gone through a lot of things. They went through first, he was constantly working, so she ended up having an affair with the guy who does like their gardening and stuff. He ends up getting into some trouble at his job. He ends up losing money. He ends up having to actually go to jail. So but she sticks by him this whole time. And, his mother dies, and, her having to also like help him cope through that. And then he ends up going blind. She was pregnant, but she ended up losing a child. This couple goes through so many different things. They're my favorite couple because, of course, they're the Latino couple in the show, and also it's Eva Longoria, like beautiful Latina Mexican woman, like so powerful, and just the attitude. And something that I always tell Hav is I'm like, she's so feisty and she's so this, and they make her seem like she's a diva or like a bitch, but it's just there's just so much trauma in her that you see it unfold, and you start seeing the soft sides of her. And then her husband, what happened was she her daughter was switched out at birth. So the daughter that she is currently raising, this is how crazy the show gets, but in these like crazy scenarios, there is some rawness in there. There is some like loss, there's pain, and you honestly, listen, you never know. There's possibly been times where some shit like that does happen, and lawsuits have happened, and we don't know about it because we don't really like check for it either. We just believe the writing because it's so good. And so she the husband ends up telling her like we should go to therapy because she ended up finding her biological daughter, but then having to let her go because the biological daughter's parents, the ones that were being taken care of her since she was born, they were immigrants, illegal immigrants in the United States. So what happens with that is you get picked up by immigration, and then you end up having to go back to your country. So that's what ended up happening to that. So she ended up losing that family. She ended up losing her daughter, so she had to go through that. And her husband was just like, listen, if it's gonna hurt you, like I'll go with you, because something that he also knew was that she was also raped at a very young age. So, and he knew that was hard for her to talk about, but she had already talked to him about it. So, hey, I'll go with you. I'll sit in therapy with you. I'll hold your hand while you tell this traumatic part of your life to a stranger almost, because that's at the end of the day too, what happens is these therapists, they're strangers. And so that's something beautiful that I love about their relationship. And then I'm at the part of the show where it's the final season, so they're trying to end it with a bang. And so it's it's super dramatic, but it's I know that it ends well because I've seen it before, but man, it's just like you pick up certain things when you rewatch shows. So that was some of the things that I picked up, that is kind of like, wow, the whole going to therapy, the the just being there for one another, because they also get into an instance that the husband, Gabriel, Ivan Longoria, Gabriel Solis's husband, he ends up killing Gabrielle's dad because he was going to attack her, and then all of the women, all the Desperate Housewives, all of them end up like, basically taking care of it, and what dead guy, like pretty much. So it's a really intense show, and I enjoy it. And like something that like what we were bringing up was because like the whole gender roles also as well there too, because something that happens is that you also see all of them go through different struggles as far as them being women but also mothers. So you see like even Longoria's character go through a phase where she wasn't taking care of herself, when opposed to before when she was like a top model. And then now she's a mom and she's barely taking care of herself, and she's gained weight and she's barely doing her hair and she's not doing her makeup and she's wearing crazy ass clothes. And so they show that side of like what happens as a woman. They also show the side of like when your kids get older. They show you the side of having kids at an older age, or just so many different things. And they break the norm of what it is to be a woman, because when you think of a Desperate Housewife, you think of someone who's just very like like a robot, and then it starts to peel. So the writing, like how I've been telling how like the writing is just really good in that show. And yeah, that's my throwback show for you guys.
Do you think relationships come with PTSD?
Yes. Are you kidding me? I think like even like when you talk to somebody, there's PTSD that comes from that, because sometimes you're talking to somebody and things can be going great, and then like out of nowhere it just completely stops. So then what makes you want to talk to anybody else after that? You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely PTSD, relationship PTSD, like for sure. Even friendship PTSD. You have a great friend, and then you get a little scared because you're just like, fuck, I lost a friend that, whatever. So you get a little scared when you let someone else in. So it's a real thing. That shit is crazy. But yeah, definitely PTSD. Let me go ahead and say the rest of the actresses on the show, because I did talk a lot about these ladies. Marsha Cross is her name. So Brenda Strong, which is the character who she in the first, I think, episode or something like that, she kills herself. So she is the voice over actress the entire 8 seasons. And she was nominated for Emmys. Yeah, she was the one who killed herself. And so a lot of it everything transpires from that. Like almost everything can be taken back to that situation. Like it's crazy. So yeah, and she's the one who's telling the story. So it's really good. So it's Eva Longoria, Terry Hatcher, Felicity Huffman, Marsha Cross, Nicolette Sheridan, Brenda Strong, James Denton, Ricardo Antonio Chavira, Dana Delaney, Vanessa Williams is in it. She was she wasn't the first black desperate housewife, because Alfre Woodford was the first black housewife, and then it was like the official, because she became like one of the main characters. So it was Vanessa Williams. Funny story, I was going to be named Vanessa, guys. I would have been Vanessa Renee on the airwaves.
It don't hit the same.
It don't hit the same. It don't hit like Claudia Renee.
No.
My parents said good. It wouldn't have been the same. So something that was happening in the show the past couple of days, because the couple, Gabrielle and Carlos, are going through, like I said, he killed her stepfather. He's going through some shit right now. So, she was trying to make him feel better. And one of the things that makes him feel better, makes a man feel better, is sex. But my dog couldn't get it up.
Wah, wah, wah. Gotta get that one.
And he couldn't get it up because his mind was so consumed in what was going on, what he had just done. The guilt, the after effects that happen. It's kind of like the shadow period after Mercury retrograde. I don't know. If you guys don't know, there's a shadow period, and in that shadow period, a lot of things can transpire in that shadow period. But yeah, so his thing couldn't get up. So then this made me think about the times that someone else's thing couldn't get up. And
Don't talk about it.
so one time, I remember I was
Chilling outside the
I was really excited to get some, right? And this person was going to deliver
said product.
yes, said thing that I needed. Can I say that orgasms are just amazing? Like, just like how they make you feel, like they just make your mind like open up, and like it's great. So that's something that, of course, as a woman, when you want it and you're gonna get it, you also want your partner to get it. You know what I mean? I'm not that I'm selfish, but when it comes to that, no, we in this together, right? But not when his thing is not hard. Even though you try to do what you can do to make it hard. And I remember the excuse that I got was because they were taking like a pre-workout, and I was like, pre-workout or steroids? And so that was very, very sad. Now, I was compensated very well. I know, you're my brother.
Gotta give it up, man. Fuck it.
I was compensated very well because orgasms I did have.
Oh, he knew about that body, Claudia? He found out about it? Huh?
He did. And he wasn't even trying to be like, oh yeah, your turn. No, it was just me. I was like, okay. But yeah, so that really sucked. I feel like with that person, it happened a couple of other times, and I do believe it was because of his pre-workout, because I feel like he was so juiced up on his shit that like he just like the adrenaline, like it just wasn't cooperating. Like, I knew that was something that was normal with some men, but man, that's actually Nude Dude. Remember Nude Dude from episode whatever?
Oh man,
Yeah.
the throwback Nude Dude.
Yeah, so it's
Shout out to Nude
it's
Dude. I hope
actually,
you're doing all right.
I hope he's doing all right too.
Claudia.
Yeah, so that was a couple of times that happened, but that was kind of crazy. I'm over here talking about call me when I just told his business. I was there. Listen, it's just jokes.
No one knows who Nude Dude is.
This ain't even real. You wouldn't think I would be telling this story? My mom listens to this podcast.
Content, baby. Come on, Claudia. What's that other one we made up?
And then the other one was because so this is what happened was so this other time that it happened, it was with a different person. So this other time, it was kind of weird because the person who it was with, they were a little aggressive. So when I got a little aggressive about them not getting hard, it didn't like work. So it backfired on me. So it was kind of like one of those situations where you just kind of like have to like step back. And sometimes I think that it's okay when you can't, as a dude, it's okay if you can't get it up. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes, women, we don't have that. With us, what happens is that we don't get wet. And sometimes you can fix that. Sometimes you can fix that, and then it's very different. It's very different. But for men, like when it's not hard, it's kind of hard
See what you did there.
to get it going on, because the penetration is what makes it. And if listen, this isn't an anatomy class either, okay? So we grown adults in this, I was about to say class. We grown adults, so we know that it needs to be hard for it to work, like, duh. Mm-hmm. So, but that with that person, and then I eventually never fully learned because I never fully learned how to have coped with that. Like, I didn't know that, because it was the person who I lost my virginity to. So it was kind of like, oh shit. Like, I would think that you, like, would never have that problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you, as a young girl who loses their virginity, you don't know things. You don't know certain things. You don't know that not just because he loves you or because he finds you fine as fuck doesn't mean that he's just gonna have a hard on all the time, especially given the circumstances or whatever it is. So yeah, so just like, don't be hard on them, ladies. Do what you can, though. Try to help, do something. That's like in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is one of my favorite movies. He him and his ex, they kind of like have a little rekindle moment. And it's funny because he can't get hard, and so she's just like, "Oh, you want me to suck it?" And so he's like trying to, like, he's like, "No, it's okay. I'm gonna, And so he like does whatever he needs to do to try to get it hard, and then she's just like, "You want me to suck it?" So then he finally is just like, "You know what? Fuck it. Okay, yeah." So then she starts trying to do it, and she's just like, "Am I doing it wrong, or what's wrong?" And then he's just like, "Well, maybe it's because you broke my heart, and now my dick like doesn't love you anymore," or something like that. So it's very different. I do believe that it's very emotional, just like how there's times where women don't want to have sex. We don't want to have sex for whatever reason it is. It could be because we are like, listen, it's just hurting down there, or our head is hurting, our body is hurting, something hurting, something's always hurting. That's what I'm learning. That's why your girl got a massager, because
Talk
shit
about a queen.
be hurting. My neck be hurting, my back be hurting. This is life over 31. I don't wish it on nobody. I don't wish it on nobody. And what's crazy is that I don't have kids, right? I don't know what the future holds. I don't know that I will or will not have children. Do I want kids? Yes. We're going to answer that right away, okay? But we're looking like Tracy Ellis Ross right now, okay?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So y'all know how I feel about it. It's my business, stuff with my babies. But continuing, something that I've been thinking about is that, yes, when I do decide if I do want to have kids, like, imagine the pain I am going to be in. Because I heard that pregnancy, like, your bones, your muscles, your everything just hurts. Like, changes your body. And with the aches and pains that I have now, I can just imagine how it's going to be freaking carrying around a big ass baby. Because I just know his head's going to be big, because I'm half the screen. It's half the screen. But yeah, so that just makes me think about that, and how I just need to take care of myself and give myself the massages. And something that I've been doing is, like, I've been talking about the whole foam rolling and all of these things. And so yeah, so don't pay no mind to me. I don't try to complain. I try to fix it. So what do I do when these little pains come in? Okay, we need a new pillow. We get a new pillow. We need a massager. We get a massager. We got, we smoke a little bit more. We smoke a little bit more to forget our pain.
Hello.
And when the tension gets too thick for my sober mind to cut through, I get the zone in. I fucking love Jay-Z. This just reminded me of when I was watching the Reasonable Doubt 20th year anniversary on Tidal. And let me tell you, that shit is so motherfucking good. I love hearing stories about Reasonable Doubt because it is so beautiful. I found out that there were only 8 people in the beginning at Rockefeller Records, and it just gives me chills because it just inspires me, especially because of Worth the Wait and what we got going on and what we plan on doing and continuing to do. So yeah, it's just, really dope to have seen that. I always enjoy those type of things because hello, it's Jigga Jay-Z. Y'all feel me? Okay, so I wanted to wrap it up with how today is August 1st, right? I know it's the 8th month of the year. I know most of 2020 has been a little crazy, actually a lot crazy. And there might be a motherfucking hurricane coming, so stay safe.
I thought hurricane season was over.
I thought hurricane season just started, bitch. Like, let me tell you, because, yeah, so be safe. But something that I actually saw this on Twitter, on Instagram, then have mentioned it, and then I was just like, it's meant for me to talk about this on the podcast. And it's just like, 2020 ain't canceled, y'all. We still have however many months left in the year.
That's right. We got 4 more months left.
I feel like everything that I've done in 2020, despite the pandemic, has been beautiful. I feel like what we've done here in the studio has been beautiful. The renovations that I've been doing in my room, just overall, like, the way of living is different. There's a reset, there's a refocus. A lot. We got to see ourselves, like, really take time, and I feel like whatever it is that you felt like you needed to work on during this quarantine, that you did. And even if you didn't, it's okay. I find myself not having all the answers in a time that I felt I would have them all, but I had to humble myself, because that's not how it works. You're not always going to have the answers. You're not always going to, because at this time, this is when I plan to move forward on something, then this is when it's going to happen. And it's like, no, that's not how it's going to happen. You have to just continue to work for it and actually just leave it into God's hands, and just like continue to just walk into the purpose that he wants you to walk into.
Growth physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Exactly. And that's the only thing that we can do, is just like, maintain the discipline and work on ourselves, and just, try to become better. And like I said, 2020 isn't canceled, guys. We still have a couple months left. I know we can't travel. It sucks. Trust me. This was the year that I was going to go to Jamaica. This was the year that I was going to go, to Greece. This was the year that I was going to go to Curaçao. It's funny because Steph's, happy birthday to Steph's mom, by the way.
Happy birthday.
That's my sister's mom. So I've known her about as long as I've known Steph. So I love her to death. She's the person who gave birth to one of the best people in my life. So love her. I mean, it's the truth. And yeah, so she asked us, she was like, where is the first place that you want to go to? And the first place, I said Jamaica. But then Stephanie, I think she said Greece. And I was like, I would love to go to Greece. And then she said, oh, yeah. And then play Santorini.
Back to Rosé.
Yeah. And then I was just like, girl, that's exactly what I want to play out there.
The only reason why to buy the ticket.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely something that I want to do. As soon as, like, the first place that I can go to, I'm trying to go to Jamaica, but definitely I'm trying to go to Greece and Santorini, play that rosé, blasting that bitch like Dade County. Man, listen, I've been saying it. The older that I get, the more I am just like, yes, I am so proud to be from Dade County. Because I'm so Dade County. But yeah, so... You know what I was laughing at, Hav? And I wonder if I had ended up on only in Dade, when we were on the on the mopeds that time, and then I kept falling. I'm the type of person who would record that and like post it somewhere. But
I hope that footage isn't out there.
I would hope that if someone knew me and saw who it was, guys. First, and then I'm the worst person to get into like those type of accidents, because I just laugh like hysterically that you think something is wrong with me, that I'm doing it on purpose, and I'm not. I'm just trying not to like throw the GoPed, across the street type. Like, cause that's the Gemini in me. Like,
I ain't no killer, but don't push me.
I get, oh man.
Also a Gemini?
Yeah, also a Gemini. That's something that I noticed about my personality is that like I either have to like take it this way, because if that way, it might not end good. And with that being said, because now I don't want you guys to know too much about my personality, because that's too much.
I'm straight.
Not too much. Hey, they say Keisha Cole and Ashanti gonna do a battle.
Yeah.
Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole got it. The Yee.
The thing
You
is,
know we gotta rep for the Bay.
I mean,
And
Ashanti has great hits, but man,
voice.
I listen to Keisha Cole's projects way more than I listen to Ashanti's.
It's hits versus records, and that's what I like a lot of times with the versus battle has been showing us. There's hits, but there's also records, or there's also a vibe or a pocket, like RZA, you know what I mean, versus Premier. That's a vibe in a pocket. You know, Jada, that's a vibe in a pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But there's hits and records, you know, so. You know, on some Snoop and DMX, you know, I ain't mad at anyone that went with X, you know, for that reason right there.
Hell yeah, I agree, man. So yeah, guys, thank you again for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Also, share the episode with a friend who you think would enjoy it. Thank you for acting as my friend that I called on the phone to tell all the juice about. That's what I try to aspire to do, because I just want it to be like I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me. What? I'm gonna have to do like a whole hip hop episode because
we're gonna have to break down. Well, when's break down Reasonable Doubt when it comes out or some shit like that? With
the anniversary passed, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
The release date.
Yeah, but
next year we could do something. Maybe Blueprint.
Yes, somebody.
Blueprint is September 11th.
You right, Hop. You're right. All right, let's put that in the notes.
That we'll never get to. I mean,
no, we'll get to them. There's some things that
There's a bunch of notes everywhere.
There's a bunch of notes everywhere. Anywho, thank you again for tuning in, and for the 131st time in a motherfucking row, it's your girl Claudia Renee on your airwaves, and we are out of here.
It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby.
Take that.